Willie D. Live.
You grew up in Bankhead, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what that was like. Growing up in the household with Clifford, Buddy Harris.
Well,
You know,
okay. First of all, I didn't grow up in a household with Buddy Harris.
well,
Buddy Harris lived in New York, so I went to see him
okay,
in the summertime.
okay,
And I grew up with my mama and my grandmama mostly. My mom, she was still doing her thing, so I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, my uncles.
in Center Hill.
Center Hill, yeah. And I think it was, man, back in, especially in the early '80s, it was a middle class, working class community with black people. That's it. You know what I mean? And it was a ecosystem somewhat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if your grandmama went home, your neighbors would watch you in the house and make sure if she said you ain't supposed to be outside, then you ain't gonna come outside. You know what I'm saying? If they catch you showing your ass up the street, you gonna get a whipping, get sent home with a note.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff, man. And I feel like it was a community of high morality, principle. You know what I mean? Like it was just stuff that wasn't gonna fly for real. But as we all know, as the crack epidemic began to be introduced into communities, that fabric, it kind of started disintegrating
Mm-hmm.
bit by bit. So at that point, it became a treacherous ghetto, less people. Like before, there were families that had their house, owned their house, raised their kids, been there for, tens, 20s of years. Now it's kind of like a lot of rental properties. It's probably about five, six, let's say 10% people who own their house and been there, and then 90% either renters or implants came from somewhere else. So it's had its share of transformation in its evolution from when I grew up to now. But so at first it started out very like stable and structured, and then it just grew into chaos. You know what I mean? But it was lots of lessons, lots of instilled a lot of principles and morals, and just a higher expectation of myself as far as my character, the quality of my character.